Hello, I'm Dr. Tony. I want to thank you for visiting my channel. And today we're going to discuss a little bit about meditation. In one of my videos a little while ago, I was talking about meditation. I tend to talk about meditation differently. I had one of my patients who always challenged me, which is great. She asked me, what do I have against meditation? And she's been to a lot of these other experts in the field, with major meditations, thousands and thousands of people. And she had mentioned about if you meditate, what's your purpose? So let's just talk about that first. Remember this, when you pray to your God, you're talking to God. When you meditate, God's talking to you. Now, when I meditate, I don't meditate for my highest good. I meditate to find out what is blocking me in my life. You cannot meditate to your highest good if you're not capable of getting there. Always remember, I think that God will never give you more than what you can handle. In the same breath, God is not telling you what to do. That would be dictation, not creation. God doesn't tell you what to do. He gives you free will. So what I always think about is, if someone has a block because at 5 years old something was said to them, then that block's gonna hold them. You can't meditate to your highest good if you're way down here. And she said, well, she's seen miracles. Well, miracles, what's a miracle? She's seen miracles where people, were in a wheelchair and then they could walk. Well, that's great, because here's my problem with that. If that happens, if you have 10,000 people at a meditation and one has a miracle, that's no big deal. So is one miracle. What I do with the Big Four process is, we want to create the miracle within you. That's what's so important about this. And again, I'm not going to get so passionate. I'm going to be calm about this. So what I mean by the Big Four process is, if you have a disease, because remember that if energy is not expressed through your body as emotion, it's expressed in your body as disease. So if you have a certain symptom or a certain disease, what is the emotional aspect? What is the spiritual aspect about that? Because that's what it's all about. So getting back to meditation, you can meditate for highest good all you want. Meditate for a new car in your driveway. Meditate and see what happens. It doesn't. If it happens once in a million, fine, good luck for you. That's like, if you want, looking through the garbage cans, you might find a good apple one day, but that's not where you're supposed to look. You're not going to find a good article in a magazine like a Playboy magazine. That's not where you look. So all I'm saying with meditation and why it doesn't work, I think, is because people are meditating on what they think they want without relieving the blocks that's blocking them to get to where they want. And again, want and what you need are two different things. It's really what you need. So again, let's explain that a little bit too about meditation with the Big Four process. Again, Big Four process, we're a four-part being. You're spiritual, highest form. You're then that spiritual thought. When you think, the thought, which is invisible, can't see it, smell it, taste it, produces a mental image in your head. The mental image now starts to go from infinity to the head to the physical body, because that mental image will produce an emotion. If the emotion is fear, that fear is going to alter the physical body, such as fight or flight. If it's love, you're going to go into a love for emotion. So again, I don't care what you choose in your life. Let's pick meditation. Now, if you have a block at 4 years old that someone said you meditation doesn't work, that's there. So we have to relieve that. So the thing is, you relieve that by first finding out what caused it. So if you have a block at 4 years old, what caused that block? We don't know. So, for example, if we're going to do the Big Four process with that, what you would do is simply this. You would go and again, you'd pin your sacred geometry over. You write on a piece of paper, which I didn't do. You write, why does meditation not work for me? You write that, put it in your pocket, and then you pick one of the 7. Let's just pick one out and see what comes up. Here's this one. You pick one of the 10 emotional cards next. Let's just grab one. You pick a block energy point, just grab one. You pick a specific location point and you grab one. So let's see now what would happen is if that was the question. Well, it's the 5th energy. It's I speak. The emotion is change shame, change shame to pride, it would be a kidney meridian, and the block point would be right down here. So that's the physical block. So again, with the Big Four process, the mental is I speak, the fifth energy center. The emotion is shame to pride, and the physical is kidney, left ankle area. So now you have the three. Now the four of them, because there's a Big Four blending, the fourth is the spiritual, which we will combine together. So let's just think about this for a minute. Because if I think about this, I speak. So apparently, when you meditate or you try to meditate, you're blocking shame. So maybe someone told you growing up that when I meditate, it never worked for me. Always going back to mom and dad, because that's unconditional love, which I'm not going to talk about now. It's take me a while, but that's unconditional love. So maybe growing up, someone said to you that, oh, I meditated and it never worked for me. I was embarrassed meditating, or maybe your father or mother or someone had an embarrassment moment meditating one day. So the thing is, we want to change that. So what we'd say is something simple. Again, this would be very simple. So you'd say to yourself, from now on, when I meditate, you're telling yourself, because it's I speak of pride in meditation. So now you want to change that shame to pride. So as you would meditate, you again sit back. You'd sit and you how you meditate. You know, I like to do this when I meditate. And you would say, I speak of pride. And I want you to feel having pride in yourself as you're meditating. Have God talking to you. Have your parents talking to you. That I have pride when I meditate. And give yourself a reason to. Now, as you're doing that, you can visualize, again, the block in the left ankle area. You can visualize that draining. Again, I'm doing it very quickly for the video, but you would meditate on that. It could take you 10, 15, 20 minutes. And I want you to feel pride. Feel pride when you're meditating. So like if I had to do this, I would say, I'd be speaking to the world. I put myself on a pedestal and I would tell the world. I speak of being proud, I'm proud when I meditate. I'm thanking God that when I meditate. So then you can start to peel the onion back to why you can't meditate. Now, and again, I will debate anyone. You can meditate all you want, that there's no weeds in your garden. But when you go out there tomorrow or next week, there's going to be weeds. Because you're only meditating. You have to create the physical aspect of the being. This has to be done with the physical world. Because we're spiritual people having a human experience. So meditate all you want. But you must act on the meditation. It's not going to work. You know, people, and again, if it does work, say you wish for $1 million and you win the lottery. Well, first of all, because they're bred of shame, you would lose it anyway. Because most people might do that because they don't feel they deserve it. It all goes back to self-worth of who you are. So again, it's important that when you meditate, you understand this as we leave this short video. Meditating, God's speaking to you. When you pray, you speak to God. God gives you free will. You do whatever you want to do. He gives you free will because that's creation, not dictation. And then also, when you meditate, according to Einstein, you can never solve a problem on the same vibration was created. So when you meditate, you want to try to attempt to meditate at a higher vibration and ask God, give me a little bit of growth. Let me grow, let me go, let me connect. But don't ask for things that might be impossible in your mind. Again, you know, is it possible to meditate and create something, a new car in your driveway? It's possible, but not probable. Anything's possible. Anything in the world's possible. But how probable is it? Again, remember, science is facts without God's energy. Science is facts without God's energy. When something is scientific, that's not true, because we do not know how the earth was formed. Therefore, you cannot take a non-scientific beginning and say something scientific based after that. I remember in that one little joke where a scientist goes up to God and says, has a handful of dirt, and he says, oh my God, he goes, I can make anything out of this dirt. And God looked at him and slapped the dirt out of his hand and said, yes, but you can't make the dirt. So you need to have some type of energy within you. And that's what life is. Life is energy. We know that. So again, I hope that you learned something from this little video today on meditation, on how I feel meditation. And if you want to meditate for highest good, great, do it. I'm not saying to do it or not do it. I'm just saying for me, I need to understand through the Big Four process of my experience of what it really means to me and what I see for results. I really would challenge someone, because I think with my process here, I get more results with patients than if I told a patient to go home and listen to this cassette and meditate every day. Now, the meditation for me is combining the other three, because I know what I'm meditating on. I know how important it is. I know what my mental aspect is, what the emotion is, where the physical block is. So I'm going to meditate on why do I not learn from meditation. The body has nothing to do. It's going to take a process. So at least with the Big Four process, we can analyze it a little bit closer. Again, Questions for Health is the name of questionforhealth@gmail.com. Any questions, please send them to me. Again, also, website, findyourblocks.com. People purchasing the cards, I will give you a free Zoom session. And what else is there? I guess that's about it. I want to thank you. And again, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you again.